it's Taylor from Kinpatsu Cosplay here. Today we're going to show you guys how to make your own custom boot covers for cosplay and turn normal, boring, everyday shoes like this into sexy thigh-high boots like these. These covers are removable and won't damage your original shoes, so you can keep using them for many cosplays without having to spend money on more shoes. If you guys would like to get more tutorials like this, check out our website at kinpatsukosplay.com, where we have loads of awesome cosplay books and patterns. Like this Jessie book, where we show how to create the entire cosplay and wig we created these boot covers for. And speaking of boot covers, let's get to this video. To create a pattern for your custom boot covers, you will need duct tape, cling wrap, and a pen. You will also need your base shoe that will go underneath. These should be as simple as possible so no embellishments show through the fabric. Put on your base shoe and make sure you aren't wearing any baggy or bulky pants and socks. Now take your plastic wrap and wrap around your leg and foot, including the underside of your shoe. Wrap as high as your boot cover will need to go. In this case, I'm making a pair of thigh-high boots, so it needs to be wrapped all the way up my leg. Then you can start to apply the duct tape. Tear off individual pieces of tape and lay them on the plastic one piece at a time. Don't pull the tape too much as you apply it, or it will be too tight and your pattern won't fit you. For these boots, I'm leaving the heel exposed, so I'm not going to cover it in tape and make a pattern for it. Tape around your foot, including the underside of your shoe, and all the way up to your knee. If you're making thigh-high boots like I am, you'll need to stop taping at your knee. Once your knee is covered in tape, you won't be able to bend it or reach your foot to draw on your lines. Take a pen and draw on the lines for your seams. For these boots, I'm making a seam up the middle and a seam up the back. Draw on registration marks so you know how your pattern lines up again later. You will also need to make a seam around the sole of your shoe. Once you've drawn on your lines, you can finish taping up the rest of your knee and your upper thigh. Use a marker to draw on the rest of the lines for your seams and registration marks. Once you're happy with how your pattern looks, you can use scissors to carefully remove it. Then you can cut out all the pieces along the seam lines. Tape patterns can be a little bit wobbly and bubbly, so you can trace them onto paper for a neat final version of your pattern that you can keep. To make these boot covers, I'm going to be using a 4-way stretch pleather. And for the underside of the shoe, I'm using a black spandex fabric. Trace your pattern for the boots onto the back side of your leather fabric. Add 1 to 2 centimeters of seam allowance around the edges. Then you can cut out the pieces. Trace the pattern for the underside of your shoe onto the black spandex, again adding 1 to 2 centimeters of seam allowance, and then you can cut out the pieces as well. Take the 2 main pieces for your boot and pin them together along the front seam with the leather facing inwards. If you have a cat to help you, it won't make the process any easier or faster, but it is very cute. For stretchy fabric like this, you will need to set your sewing machine to a long, narrow zigzag stitch. This will allow the stitches to stretch with the fabric. Then you can sew along the front seam to join the 2 halves together. Trim off the excess seam allowance with scissors so the seam isn't bulky. Now you can take your lycra piece for under your shoe and start to pin it to the leather boot section. Once again, sew around the edges to join them. Now your boot cover should look something like this. If your boot cover doesn't have a heel, you will need to hem the back section to make it neat. Fold over the edges around the heel and clip them into place. Leather and vinyl fabrics often get stuck in the sewing machine and don't sew smoothly. To help fix this, you can use a Teflon foot or apply lubricant like Vaseline to the fabric. This will help it slide through the machine. You can then sew over the folded edges to secure them. Sew in one continuous line, all the way around the toe and to the other side so everything looks neat. Now you can close up the back of the boot. Pin the back seam together and stitch along the edge to join it. You can then flip your boot cover inside out. Take your base shoe and carefully slide the boot cover over it. Because this is very stretchy fabric, you don't need to add in a zip or Velcro. The heel of the shoe should fit through the opening at the back of the boot cover, and the lycra piece at the bottom will hold the cover in place. If you're happy with how the shoe cover fits, then you can finish off the hem at the top. fold over the edge twice and clip it into place. Then you can sew around the hem with a zigzag stitch to secure it. To stop yourself from sliding around while wearing these, you will need to glue on some rubber shoe soles. You can buy these in packs online. These soles do come with adhesive, but it's not very good. To get a strong bond, apply contact adhesive to the back of the sole, then glue it to the underside of your boot cover. Now your custom shoe covers are complete. These original little pumps have been transformed into long over-the-knee boots. These covers can easily be removed and won't damage your original shoes, so you can keep using them for many different costumes. This was a very simple example, but I've used this same method to create tons of different and interesting shoes for my costumes, and I hope this video will help you guys do the same. If you found it helpful and think it might help someone else, then please share it with your friends. We hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. Make sure you subscribe to the channel to get notified when we post the next one. Until then, bye for now!